This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
Welcome back to The Cringe is Real, the podcast that cringes along with Australian reality TV and pop culture at large. I'm Sam Cremian, and this week I'm snatching up with my gal pal all the way in New York City, Lemon Chiffon. Lemon Chiffon is a talented young woman who's graced the stages of both Australian and US drag scenes. Drag Race Down Under Season 4 airs Fridays on Stan in Australia and Wow Presents Plus everywhere else, and I will be recapping it each week with a special guest. Miss Lemon Chiffon, welcome to The Cringe is Real.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Hi. I know, all the way from New York City.
International diva over here.
She's an international diva. How's it all going over there? What's the goss? Besides the
obvious, it's great. It's great. We love it. It's finally got cold. We're getting into that winter vibe. So, the puffer coats are coming out, which is a relief, but also it's dark now. So it's like, oh, but it's good. It's popping along.
Yeah. Yeah. We just had like a 35-degree day yesterday and the divas were freaking out. There were topless people just walking the streets of
People
the
go
city.
mental.
I was like, what?
People go mental. Whereas,
it was like,
whereas the other night it was 3 degrees here. So we're doing the opposite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gil. What's got you cringing this week?
What's got me cringing this week is people just jumping to new social media apps. Twitter, I don't know if it's like the same over in Australia, but everyone is like, Twitter's over. Well, it kind of is.
Like boycotting?
It's like Elon Musk bought it. You stop now and it's like ads play and like it's Trump propaganda and shit like that. It's just like, and everyone's like,
totally.
I just think the cringe of like, now we're all going to Blue Sky, but then it was crashing and it's like, it's just like, how many different social medias can we have? So I'm just cringing
it
at that,
sucks because there's not like a good alternative.
No, because it's like Instagram or Threads. It's like, okay, well that's run by a different billionaire. So it's like, I just like, I'm cringing at social media this week and our reliance on it, but also like our addiction to it. I know my addiction. Like I'm coming from myself here.
Twitter has been like a toxic, rotted like hellhole for years now. So I'm glad people are like jumping ship. But yeah, it's like, where else are we going to get our porn from? I don't understand.
But then it's like, if we jump ship, is it going to be any better? Are we all just going to be just as rotted on the internet and cringy?
So, like, Elon Musk will just buy Blue Sky. Do you know what I mean?
Or someone else just as bad.
It's some other cunt.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God. I actually think, because obviously we're talking about the Snatch Game this week. I think Elon Musk would be a great Snatch character. Has anyone done that?
No, I don't think so. I think he could be.
We had a Grimes.
Well, they are doing South Africa's Drag Race, so maybe someone on Drag Race South Africa can do it, because then they don't have to put an accent on. I feel like South African accents are very particular, but I think he's just like a big toddler, so I think you could really do whatever you wanted with him.
That would be a fun angle, like do him like as a little child with like a nappy.
Yeah, and he's just like, I want Twitter now. So I don't know, something stupid. Like
yeah. Do him as a little baby. Oh my God. So how are you feeling about Drag Race Down Under season 4 so far?
Well, I'm excited.
Is it the Renaissance where everyone's saying it is?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I don't know. I like personally know 2 of the divas quite well on this, and a third of know them. So I feel like
Max and Lazy?
Yeah, Max and Lazy. And then I know Brenda through the, not as well. I don't think I've ever met her in person or very briefly. But like, I don't know. I feel really proud and excited for the girls. That connection, I think, makes me excited about it. And I just want the best for everyone.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I do really enjoy like Isis and Nikita being on the panel, it feels like more grounded in Australian and New Zealand drag,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Which I think it has been missing. So that's really exciting to me.
Oh, totally. I think this cast as a whole is like the strongest one as a package yet, because they're all kind of bringing something different to the table. Whereas I think in the past seasons, there's been a few standouts and then a few like they just haven't gelled or something.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
think it is like a mix of like different types of queens is one. Yeah, as you said, the best sort of casting, and like there's like some campy girls, there's some funny girls, there's some like, you know, looks girls and stuff. Whereas like some of them, I think like that mix, like Nikita being there, the ballroom, like that gives a different.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
Like I cannot shut up about her. I'm obsessed.
She's hot too, so I'm sure that's part of the reason.
She's so
in and out of drag,
but like, yeah.
And then there's like,
because some of the looks have been so shit, but she just commits and sells it, and I'm like,
oh
yep,
yeah, I buy anything she'd sell. So yeah, I'm like, I'm really, I'm enjoying the season. I want the best for the girls. I'm excited. You know, hometown pride vibes for me at least.
Oh yeah, the Melbourne girls are stealing the spotlight, I think, and then we have Vibe obviously giving great back and forth banter with the kind of rivalry, which I'm just loving as well.
And I just love Vibe. I feel like represents really that, to me at least, of my understanding of that like old school Australian drag, but in a like a fresh new way as well. She's very like classic showgirl production numbers, but like still has fun and has like still gets what's like current. You know what I mean? Like what she's wearing, and like
she's younger than you think, and you're like, oh, because she's got that old school drag sensibility. I think she's 32.
Okay,
which I'm like, okay, yeah,
cool.
All right, let's get into this episode. So we start with the workroom post elimination. Olivia Dreams left a little live, laugh, love message on the board. What did you think of Livy Dreams?
I think there was like so much potential, which I feel like maybe there was a lot. And I think it's just potentially from, I don't know much anything about the Wellington drag scene, but it seems like very small. And she was the one sort of curating her own spaces. So she just felt a little fresh. And I just wanted to hold her hand through some of it. You know what I mean? Like, I've no ill intent. I just need a couple more years cooking, I think.
Yeah, I loved Nikita last week going for the Wellington drag scene. She's like, oh, I know those girls. That was so funny.
Oh, we love.
I was like, bitch, you're on TV.
Be careful.
They're coming for it. She can't perform there. They'll ban it. We get Max throwing a bit of shade to Lazy. They're all still going on about the sheer was it sheer thing. They're all just salty because they didn't win, let's be honest.
Yeah, and I saw Lazy post a definition of sheer being transparent, and she's not wrong. And I'm sorry, her runway was so good and none of you brought it the same way.
Like,
some of them didn't even know what sheer meant.
Like, fair enough. Exactly. If that insane 3D graphic headpiece wasn't involved, I would kind of get it.
Oh, yeah.
But with that, I'm like, sorry, you're not winning this argument.
No, if it wasn't there, I'd be like, oh, this is kind of lazy. But
yeah,
so I had to. But the concept was there, and it's something we literally have not seen on Drag Race before, and she was able to pull it off. That it's like, I do think that pushed her over the edge to actually win the actual whole week.
She's such a smart bitch. She knew that doing that was going to get shared. It was going to go viral. Like, she just knows exactly how to, tickle.
If I was on this season and she walked in, I'd be like, well, fuck it. I was like, well, I'm never going to be funny, am I?
Yeah. Exactly. Oh my God. Vibe says the only way she's going to get a win is if she kneecaps Lazy.
Wow.
Which I was like, whoa. Because last week I was saying how I'm terrified of vibe in like a, love and light, but she is quite scary way. And then she came out with this and I was like, well, there's actual threats of violence now. So
I can see, yeah. Oh well.
But I'm into their banter is quite good.
Yeah, those two are giving like narrating the season and stuff. It like feels feels like a sisterly like bitchy battle, but like like they love each other, but like gonna come for each other harder because they do like each other.
I'm finding, do you think that all of the girls this year, they're a bit conscious of the edit? Like, I feel like they're talking about it and stuff in a way that we haven't really seen before. Like, even in Olivia's lipstick message, it was like #winner edit or something. And I feel like they're giving the camera stuff that they know is going to play in a certain way.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess it's like they've watched the other 3 seasons of Down Under and they all there's no really old divas, so I think a lot of these girls may have started drag after Drag Race has started. So like in general, like the US season, so I feel like they are a little bit more versed on everything and also conscious that the fans are a little bit of see you next Tuesdays. Like they're not nice, and especially to the Down Under divas, and it's like I do think, but and also maybe the editors are like leaving this stuff in this time as well. Maybe there's something from that angle. I don't know.
Like even Mandy, she's like, every time she talks to the camera, she's like, no, like Lazy winning 3 times in a row, that's not a thing. I'm not going to say that because if I say that, you'll use it and she'll win. Like they think that they are like in control of the destiny of the outcome by like what they say. I'm like, guys, just chill out. I'm loving Mandy so much though. So it's a new day in the workroom and they all go live, laugh, love in honor of Livy Dreams. Lazy's feeling cute. She's got 2 wins under her belt. And then she responds to Vibe's kneecap threats with, well, I hope you're better at murder than you are at winning challenges.
Points were made. Like, this is definitely like the Australian humor though, like cutting, like yeah.
They going there.
I appreciate it.
Michelle walks in. Michelle does her hello, 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 which I'm quite enjoying. And she's in a little pink pussy bow blouse with some jeans. How did we feel about this?
I like loved the top, and I wasn't until she was on Snatch.
I thought of you actually.
Yeah, it is very
I was like, this top is quite Lemon Chiffon.
But then the jeans, like, I was like, oh yeah. Like, I love the look.
The jeans took it to a place of shopping center for me.
Yes, the jeans. Yeah, definitely. I feel like for hosting Snatch Game, I don't think she needed a suit, but it would have been nice to have something a little bit more game show hosty and less like, I don't know, not shopping mall, but like cousins.
She wore the same thing.
And that's what she hosted. That's when I didn't see I didn't clock the jeans again until then. And I was like, I just like, it needs to be a bit more game show host unless like you're going to like, I don't know, a birthday party on the weekend before you're going out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She tells the girls that it's I'm a Celebrity Impersonator, snatch me out of here, which is Snatch Game, but with some fake plants.
I like
in the background.
I like the twist.
I love
the twist because they're like, it's literally the same, but we just called it something different.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. And it's very camp, and I like that it was 2 groups as well.
See, I didn't.
Which we haven't done. Oh, okay. Because sometimes when they're all there, I mean, it's weird because the first group, I feel like we got 2 seconds of them, and it was all the second group.
That's why I didn't like
So that was weird.
That's part of the reason I didn't like it, because I just like the edit doesn't get cut. The edit feels like someone always gets lost. I'm also confused why they didn't just do it next week when they had 8 queens.
True. And then it's like
4
an
and
even
4.
number.
I don't know.
We
Or
like
just
that.
like it would have made more sense for their set as well. Anyway.
Yeah. So who knows what's going on down there. So have you thought about who you would do for Snatch Game?
Yes. I've auditioned for Down Under, so I have done a couple of Snatch Games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to share because it's kind of
Who would you do?
Huh?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm like I can't. I don't.
You
It
don't have
sounds
to.
silly, but I'm like holding them close to my chest. I haven't really told anyone. Yeah, but I like
I feel like
No, you go.
I was just gonna say I feel like Lindsay Lohan would absolutely suit you.
Oh yes, I would
with
have played it in a very different way.
The Ginge.
Lindsay Lohan, actually,
We'll get to.
she is a go-to like artist I lip sync to, but I would love to play into like the fictional character or like that sort of world is like something I've like into, like iconic Australian like animals or something like that. It's definitely like the coat of arms could be funny. I don't like I'm the kangaroo on the coat of arms.
Do a kangaroo and an emu.
Or like Skippy.
That would be funny.
Skippy the bush kangaroo is like something I've thought about.
Yeah.
Or like just Australian celebrities. I thought about doing Gina Liano for sure.
Oh, I'm just like, how have we not?
She's a drag queen,
but it's really good. I know it's the lowest hanging fruit, but I think that at least this year we got some actual Australian references, because I feel like the last 3, for some reason, everyone's just like avoided it. I think they're overthinking it, trying to play to the American audience.
Yeah, I think
or
they're trying to play to
Ru. It's like just do.
Yeah, I think they're trying to play to Ru. Well, were obviously not this season. I guess did they? I'm not sure if they were like 100% knew it was not going to be Ru this season when they got auditioned, but yeah, I feel like they just forget that like just play a funny Australian, just be funny. Or a Kiwi. Like
totally.
It's almost better if Ru doesn't know who you're playing, you just be funny and tell him who this person is.
Yeah. Michelle enters while they're getting ready for their snatches. Mandy tells us she's doing Jane Turner and Brenda is doing Gina Riley. So it's like perfect complementary characters. Maybe they pre-organized that. Then we get this Mrs. Claus off, which I was like, oh my God, like how have 2 people come up with the same terrible idea? I was so shocked by this.
Yeah, it was like a little bit like, okay, I understand. I feel like the go-to now for Snatch Game with a lot of divas that like maybe comedy's not their first, reference for them, are going for fictional characters they can just be funny with. So like, I wasn't surprised we got something like that, but to Mrs. Claus was very like, what?
And as if you would hold on to that, like normally when there's a double up, it's like a really iconic character. Yeah. So someone is always like, oh no, you can't take that away from me. But with this, I would just be like, I brought a Santa hat. Like, I don't need to wear it.
No.
Anyway, Kana is doing Eddie Murphy. And basically, I think it's because she can do this one voice bit. Was it how you doing?
Yeah.
And she just was like, I'm going to do that. And someone should have told her, honey, no.
I know. There's not someone else in Sydney not funny and have told her. I just feel like there has to, like, it would have been funny if she was the Demigorgon. Like her first week's runway. Like,
seriously, she should have.
Like, I just feel like
the sex worker Demigorgon.
Just like
recent.
No, I understand. Like, I understand why she went there, but it's just, I just feel like comedians are literally, should be off limits. Just because, like, it's hard to make someone who's funny.
Unless you can do it, like Jimbo doing.
Oh yeah, but they're like.
Oh my God,
Jimbo's a clown. Like, Jimbo has that literal training to do this, whereas like Kana's like a sleigh dancer. I'm just like, I don't know. It would have been funnier if like, I don't know who she could have been, but
Freya said, Freya's backup was Erica Jane, which I was like, fantastic. Please do that. Like, she is actually American, so I trust that she would have killed that. I was really annoyed we didn't get it.
yeah. I mean, she wasn't bad as... I'm jumping ahead.
No,
but, yeah.
she wasn't. No, that's fine. She wasn't the worst at Mrs. Claus, but I just, for me, that's not an exciting idea. I don't know. But I think everyone's playing it safe in the way of like, you don't do a real character, you do a fictional thing so you can just get away with murder. And Rue usually cackles over that
it's definitely
idea.
something I've played with the idea of doing, so I understand why. As someone who like, I wouldn't say I'm like funny, like scripted like that, like maybe off the cuff. So it's like, you know, I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah. But Michelle was like, she had a very strong reaction to the idea of Erica Jane. She was like, "Ooh, not her." I was like, okay, Michelle, what's the backstory there?
Maybe she's not a housewife diva. I don't know. Probably came. She's probably I probably met her in passing. I'm sure they both. Where does Erica Jane live? LA?
Yeah, they probably have. Yeah. Michelle says she's a huge Kath and Kim fan.
Yeah.
And Brenda's like, great, me too. You're going to love my Gina. I thought it was really clever that she went with a true and Prue character. So that was genius because you could have done Kim.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've seen that. Plus, such good timing with the Netflix like Trixie and Katya
it's like
clip of them watching Kath and Kim. Totally, and kind of new for some people that hadn't seen it before. So very, very good timing with that. Nikita, clever girl, bless her soul, is doing Mother Nature because she wants to educate and raise awareness whilst also being funny.
I like the idea of the character, but like, okay, she was trying to do too much. I understand, and just she's just trying to get too many things there.
I'm just cackling whenever she's on screen. Like in the best way.
Like oozes charisma. She just like oozes. Yeah.
Michelle says Mandy's Jane Turner wig looks a bit Dolly Parton in 9 to 5. And then I don't know if you clocked this, but Mandy goes, thank you, which I believe is like a subtle Karen from Finance dig. Which I was
really?
like, that's funny. Because in the first Down Under Snatch Game, Karen from Finance did Dolly Parton and her whole thing was, thank you. And it was like kind of awkward. So to bring that back in, I was like, oh my God, deep cut.
That's funny if it was.
I reckon Mandy knows what's up.
Oh yeah, Mandy's definitely a shady bitch, and I mean that in the best possible way. She's been around.
Vibe is doing Julia Child. She's like, I don't know if it's Child or Childs. Don't Google it, which I thought was very funny.
Made me know that if you're playing the character, but
yeah,
she did it well.
It's very Aussie Bogan style to just like put an S on the end of everything.
Yeah, no, I know I do it.
So Lazy had 3 options, and you and I both know this diva very well, and we have high expectations for her comedy, as does all of Melbourne. So this week was a very strange. I have a lot of emotions about this week, but the first one was Farlap, which I was like,
I would have never thought of Farlap, and I was like, yeah, that's
amazing.
The one. That's the one.
Should have done it. Don't you reckon?
No, I agree. I was very, very surprised that she decided to do Lindsay.
Same. And it was like, of course, Lazy doesn't ever just do anything in a standard fashion. She added these layers. My understanding, she was trying to do like child actor Lindsay, who was like being held like prisoner in her own home by her parents. Is that what I was to understand?
Yeah, and I also think it was like reference to like Lindsay like having different accents, because I guess like when she lived in Dubai and then she's American and then she was British on that in the twin movie that I can't remember what it's called, but Parent Trap, and like I saw the angle that she was going with. She's like, Lindsay's crazy and has different accents.
Mm-hmm.
But like the shirt didn't feel like Lindsay, the wig didn't feel like Lindsay, the makeup definitely didn't.
Yeah.
Like Lindsay's a beauty
Yeah.
queen, and no offense to Lazy, she doesn't paint that way.
I think so. I had some friends that went to the screening party this week with Lazy, and apparently her kind of defense of it is that there were lots of other jokes in there, but I think they decided to cut them maybe because it was too hard on that child star angle. And then like, I think some of the references were involving Disney, and I think they were just like, let's not touch that.
Yeah, that makes
which would
that
make
would,
sense to
I
me.
can like that makes sense that Lazy would have gone there.
Yeah, she would have gone there, and the editors would have been like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, I
We
think
do
it
not
was like
need
she probably went,
this lawsuit.
unfortunately probably went too far with it, which would have been funny and like seeing it in a live show with an Australian crowd, but like definitely there's like World of Wonder American producers. Like I don't know what their involvement is, but I'm sure they like have some sort of like look over it before it gets published. That yeah, if there was anything risky, and I'm sure it got a bit, yeah.
I mean, I could be getting this wrong. I wasn't there, but like that is very much. I can definitely see that being
Lazy knows how to take it there, and I love her for that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think it will like maybe it was like that would make sense.
Yeah,
it went too far.
The other option she had was Werner Herzog, which she's done before in lots of content on social media, and I think it's very funny. But I'm glad she didn't do it only because she has done it before, and there is stuff out there. But she at least got a line in with Michelle, which was very funny when she was like, "And after years of sending people home, Michelle realized she'd never been home herself." Like that was so
Michelle
funny
like laughed and
to get that in.
Michelle, she's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, yeah, we've all thought that.
Yeah, just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But I definitely think Far Lap would have been iconic. Have you seen her Hugh Jackman as well?
Only I think she posted.
She's got that video online.
Yeah, online. Oh, that would have been funny too.
That I think would have been, especially because like there's that terrible Wolverine movie that came out this year, so it would have been like good timing.
And like
but you know,
I think it's easy for him to be like claim as gay too. Or closeted is an easy way to do it as well with Hugh, unfortunately.
Yeah. Lucina is doing Tabitha Coffee, which I was like, that is such a good choice.
I'm surprised I think this is the first time we've had her, right? On any.
I think so.
And I'm like, actually such an icon. She has like quite a big impact in the US as well, because that was where her show was, wasn't it? So I love this choice.
Great choice. And I'm just living for Lucina's quiet confidence. Like she's sort of, it's a little bit delulu, but she's kind of just sitting in it. And the way she gives her sultry lines to the camera, just like, yeah, I'm just here every week, you know, doing the thing. Like I can't help but just love something about her. Yeah. Like what's your vibe with Lucina?
I like her. I feel like I don't know much about her, but I think that's like her vibe as well. She's like there.
I don't think there's much going on, but she's pretending there is, which I love.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you'll find out later. I'm like, what are we going to find
like
out?
A little bit stoner vibes. I don't like that, just sort of like that zone down. She's very like very daydreamy girl, which, you know, I don't hate. And she's
I'm here for a 7 foot tall queen.
Oh yeah. Love a big drag queen.
And the mug is
it's pretty,
unstoppable.
It's good.
Michelle tells the girlies that Lady Hawk is the guest judge this week, and they're all excited. It's like, yay, an actual
we know.
guest. How nice.
And a song we knew.
I thought Lady Hawk was a really good choice.
Yeah.
Because, it's like, I don't know, who else is like living in Auckland? It's weird, but I think they played that one very well. Freya tried to get a bit of a Mrs. Claus off happening.
Yeah.
or the like Ms. Claus versus Mrs. Claus thing. But Max is like freaking out about it and decides to do Reese Witherspoon. Thoughts on this choice?
I just feel like there's not a lot to go with Reese. I feel like there's like other actresses that you could play into like them a little bit more. Like I feel like even Margot Robbie could have been more interesting. Like the Barbie angle. I don't know. I didn't love it. I don't think she slayed it, but yeah. I feel like it was a hard one and the accent was not there.
No. I think the look obviously was gorgy because,
She's always stunning.
Max knows how to look incredible, but it's just a big shoes to fill role. Like that role in Legally Blonde is iconic. We love it. It's very quotable. So if you're gonna do it, you have to kind of like, I don't know, find a different angle or something.
Yeah, you just have to amp it up 100. Yeah, I also don't like anyone. I don't like to see anyone fail. So yeah.
No. We get to the Snatch Game. Snatch me out of here. And it's Reese and Ketamine out of drag as the contestants, and Michelle in the same pink pussy bow top as the host.
Did they film this?
In a lovely
Did
set.
they film this on the main stage? Is that why it was so small?
Probably. I think they've got limited spaces. Yeah. They did a good job of hiding that though.
I love
sometimes
this
you can see
I think,
the floor.
Yeah,
it was great.
Back to my point, I would have wished it was all 9 queens on stage at once, and my thought was it on the main stage so they couldn't like actually fit them all? Because I know they're.
I think they wanted options. Like I think they were like, oh, the last 3 have been a bit shaky, so let's do this one where at least one of them is going to be good.
No, that makes sense. They can play with the edit a little bit more. Yeah.
The first group. So I reckon we got like 2 minutes max on this group, which was crazy. Like barely there. We have Lazy as, I don't know, is it like young Lindsay, I want to say. And look, they cut heaps of her stuff. It's what happens.
There's always someone that gets
these shows.
I think they also maybe didn't want to give her another win. So maybe she was too funny as well. They wanted someone else to have the spotlight.
Hey,
because I know some Snatch Games you never see.
Jump on board with that.
Yeah, let's go with that one. She was too funny. They wanted.
Let's go with that. She was too good, and they were like, "We can't give this bitch 3 wins in a row."
You don't want to favorite her too much.
Give it to someone else. The lines she got in, I thought were pretty good. Like I loved the whole "Mum doesn't let me out of the basement" thing. Like it's dark and it's incredibly twisted, and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
What did you think of Vibes? Julia Childs.
Vibes was funny. She seemed to be throwing back to Michelle. I think she interacted with some other things the other contestants said, maybe. Right? I can't remember, but she seemed like good. It was good. It was a good, solid Snatch Game. I appreciated it. She seemed happy to be there and like just volleying and willing to just say shit. And she knew how she was gonna play Julia. She's this drunk housewife, and I think that was like she just like knew what she was doing. I felt safe with her.
She did her version of it. Yeah, same. I was like, good, this is solid. It's nothing about it was cringy, which some of them had that aspect to it. She was kind of like doing because we've had Julia Childs, I think, quite a few times now across the franchises, and everyone knows the character now, but she added a few little vibisms. She was kind of like, oh, well, get fucked or whatever, which I'm like, that's a very
it was just like funny
Sydney drag queen thing to say, but I love it. Yeah. My favorite line from her was, I'm having a real baby in the oven and the roast in the bathtub kind of day. And I was like,
it was funny. It was amazing. Like, oh yeah. Made no sense, but in the best way.
Yeah. I think of this group, she was the winner. Like if they were going to do one from each group, she would have won. Adisha Knowles Carter III. Ooh, girl. This was unhinged. It was just, how you doing? and that's
Yeah,
it.
there was just like no like the understanding of what Kana was doing. She doesn't have that depth of who her character was. Just which she's, as I think she said in one of her confessionals, like she got in her own head. Like, and I understand.
There was one confessional where she was like, I'm a big personality. Eddie Murphy's a big personality. So I've got this. And I was like,
I
oh,
would.
honey,
She
no.
hasn't had
I was
the
like,
big.
this is the end.
She hasn't had the big personality edit. So
No.
oh.
Some gay behind that camera stitched her up with that. But anyway, Reese Witherspoon. Yeah. She got like one line in. There was no Max was not
it was like
present.
a couple of lines. Yeah, it was like one. Like I don't remember actually anything she said. She looked good. It just fell flat, unfortunately.
Yeah. She needed a little chihuahua prop in a
didn't
bag.
have one, did she?
Like you need props. No, I don't, or not that we saw. Like you need, or the laptop, the pink laptop. Like there's so many props that you could do with that character. Like just, do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like
which I didn't
be like, oh,
see.
You could be like, this is what like you could pretend you could like play off the chihuahua answering the questions for you or something. I don't know. Yeah,
totally. Or like the chihuahua takes a shit in her bag or something. I don't know. There's like a lot you could do.
Yes, or just like.
But again, we didn't see a lot.
Yeah, so maybe she did.
I wonder if she did more.
I don't know how. I think they filmed it for a couple of hours, so like they cut the footage down.
I did just see a video of her performing at Circuit this weekend, and I was actually like gagged. She did this like one hand stand into a split.
Oh yeah, that's like her new go-to
thing.
move is to like, yeah.
What is that move?
I don't know.
Crazy.
I have no idea how you do that. Yeah. But go off, sis.
Go the fuck off. Mrs. Claus. So, Ms. Claus. So the whole thing was, it was like, I got divorced from Santa, which like, I don't know if that's that clever.
I understand why she did it. I didn't hate it. She knew what the character was, so at least she'd like developed where she was going with it. But yeah, it was just like whatever. It wasn't life-changing.
No. But at least she did like an older person. I think it's good sometimes when it's like a pretty young diva like Freya and they try and, ugly themselves up a bit, a la, like going for that Oscar.
Yeah, no, like I'm like, it's nice to see that she's ready to not just be pretty. For sure. Yeah, like she's like exactly. Ready to go down.
Versatility. Yeah. So that was all done and dusted in 2 minutes. Then we got the second group who we were already being told was the better group by the producers. And we have Gina Riley as Sir, which I love. She put that on her socials this week, Brenda, and it's like spelled SOUX.
Okay, love.
Sir.
Oh.
Hanging out at the shop with Trud and Prud. This was so good. Like at the start, I thought, okay, this is all right. She's doing the Trud and Prud character. We've seen it, but then when she pulled out the Michelle CD and the chocolate,
is that what it was? Because they like blurted out.
Yeah. They blurred it. I know. Yeah, Michelle was like, "That's my CD." Like that was fucking funny. The plunge, you plunge it with your boredom.
Yeah, it was like funny and
it was great
into it for sure.
And we have so much left over from October. Like she got all of those lines in, and Michelle was cackling. Well done, Brenda. Also, it's nice to see another queen shine. Like as much as we live for lazy, it's like
okay,
someone else got some time. Yeah, and I've been waiting for Brenda because I'd never heard of her before this show. So I've been loving what I've seen. No, I'm not a voice girly.
No, neither. I just know
who is
divas, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing her out and about on the scene, which I assume she'll be doing after this.
Yes.
Mother Nature. was one of those iconic performances for all the wrong reasons, but I loved it.
Yeah. It was just like, what do you say? What do you like? Sometimes I was like, what are you even trying to do? The microplastics? I was like, okay, I see where you're going.
Hot take. There's the CO2 bit when she was like, oh, and like the dust flies on, and she's like, oh, sorry. There's just so much dust and shit in the air in a
That was
Kiwi
funny.
accent.
That was
I was
funny.
fucking cackling. This is like cringe diva worship. Like she goes into the Hall of Fame for me with this.
Because it was so
And just her attitude, her attitude this whole episode, like start to finish, like Michelle throwing daggers at her and she's just like laughing back at Michelle. Like, I love it.
Oh, funny.
Jane Turner. So Mandy's Jane Turner, I think she benefited greatly from having Brenda there. I think if it was her solo, it wouldn't have been as good. That's my
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because
controversial
like there
opinion.
was a lot of bits where they like volleyed between each other, and having that like yes and like that sort of improv person that's like in the same world as you, like that definitely helped. She looked great. Yeah, I feel like Jane Turner has been done, tasted on UK, and it was very good.
That's right. I think Taste's was still better.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Only because I think she got more of the physicality in there. The sort of chooky neck thing. Plus, it's kind of more impressive for me that someone with like a Welsh accent can like pull off that character. And she did like spot on, got it. I still heard a lot of Mandy in Mandy's Jane Turner, which I think like I love it when they do that. But I think she didn't do that on purpose, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the slutty, the mango espadrilles and she's like, oh, it's a slutty clear clack. I'm like, Jane, like Kath would not say that, but like that's a very drag reference.
Yeah, that was a funny bit.
The crystal clackers.
I was like, did I miss? I was like, wait, I don't think I've seen every episode of Kath and Kim, so I was like, did I miss something? But I'm glad she had like thought out bits for each. Like she's like, this doesn't answer the question in any way, but it's funny. So I think that is a key to doing well on Snatch Game, is like just having things to say and like, oh yeah, and there's a question to answer at some point.
Totally. And the way when she got up, I was like, yes, like this is what you should be doing, like to command some space.
Yeah, you're like, okay,
in the Snatch Game.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, I just would have loved like a chooky neck, like bird type character. It's also, I mean, and I'm only being so harsh because, the wonderful Art Simone is now touring with their production of Fountain Lakes in Lockdown, which you have to see if you haven't. It's like perfect. It's like perfect. Yeah. So when you've just seen that, it's like always going to be
you've like got a point of
hard to top.
Yeah, something you're referencing. Damn. But like she did well, and it was like a pretty solid performance.
Oh yeah, she should be incredibly proud of herself, as I know she was. Actually, her best line was when she was like, "Oh, the opener with Michelle," and she's like, "Oh, that blouse, is it from Ooh La La? Oh, very eyebrow."
That was funny.
Designer lady. That was good. Lucina's Tabitha Coffee was so good. Like it was stupid and like borderline offensive, but I'm like so here for that.
And they're just like the scissors being like, I think just like the scissors she found in the workroom. It was funny. It was good. Yeah. I think it was like there was just like bigger personalities that it didn't land her higher, but I think it was like she knew who Tabitha was, and it was funny. And just like seeing her in that little blonde unit was funny.
Totally. I think if Brenda wasn't there, maybe she would have placed higher. Yeah. But yeah, definitely faded out. But yeah, when she just unashamedly went in on the muff diver jokes, I was like, oh my God, this is so ridiculous.
Tabitha a lesbian or no?
Yeah,
she is. Okay, cool. That was fun. Yeah. Just like went with them.
It's Elimination Day. We get some underwhelming shots of Auckland's bustling
I was
streets.
so random.
And then
I was like, what?
they
It
were
was a jump scare.
terrible shots.
I was like,
oh.
we didn't need those. Just edit them out. Just give us the dun dun.
Well, they used to do like a mix of like some Sydney, some Melbourne, and then like, you know, the Tower in Auckland or whatever. And then this time it was like some people crossing a street.
It could have been
I was
literally
like, oh,
anywhere,
no.
but okay.
Oh, honey.
They'd reached their stock footage
So
budget
good.
for the season already.
Exactly. I do like the new dun, 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 where we get, you know, the judges as well.
Yes.
Coming in. It's not all about Rue anymore. Vibe gives Jane and Gina their flowers. So she's like, props to you. Both really good performances. I think Vibe is like, she's a cunt, but she's fair. Do you know what I mean? Like if someone does well, she acknowledges it. She's not salty.
No. And I think she, like, as I said, I think if she likes you, she's just going to be harder on you out of a form of love, which I think is very an Australian and then high thing to do. And then, like, you know, yeah, she like she's not, yeah, she also just wants to win, which that's why they're there. So
exactly. Yeah. And I like her whole thing with Lazy is like they occupy completely different spaces. So there's no like, you're coming for my gig.
No.
Vibe. It's all just like, so much love, like you're great at that thing, I'm great at this thing. Yeah. Freya loved Mandy's performance. She gives her a little shout out. And then Mandy tells us in a confessional that Lazy winning 3 times in a row is not a thing and that will not happen.
I agree. If I was there too, I'd be like,
yeah,
we gotta take this girl down to the kneecaps. Yeah.
But yeah, they're all playing producer and I'm here for it. Mirror talk, real talk. This is when Max breaks down. And we kind of, at the start of the episode, Freya alluded to it like, oh, Max isn't themselves this week. And then we find out her mother passed away like 2 months prior, which is
crazy.
Wild. Because one of those months would have been preparing for the show. I was like,
and it would have been
what a fucking legend for doing this. I would have been like, I'm not doing it.
No, and it would have been around Christmas too, because when did they film this? Like February, March?
I think they filmed it in Feb. Yeah.
So like fresh. Like the grieving, like, you know, I haven't lost any family members, but friends have, and it's like the grieving is years long. So it's just like, whole thing. So sad.
I was watching this episode with King George from Bankstown from Survivor, which was funny. And his commentary was both chaotic and hilarious. And to this bit, he was like, oh, she's just whipping that out now because she knows she's in the bottom. And I was like, George, be nice.
I think potentially, my only thought would be the producers was like, okay, this is a good sad storyline for you today as well. Like they would have known about that.
Yeah. They would have, yeah, you're right. They would have been like, look, we're here to help, but also maybe if you told everyone about what's happening. It felt genuine though. I don't believe she just decided to like
no malintent,
have a breakdown.
No. And grief comes in waves, so. And especially, like, I can understand, like, I don't think Snatch Game was Max's favorite episode she was looking for, I'm assuming. Like, she's like from my understanding.
Yeah, she said at the start.
Yeah. She didn't seem excited
when Michelle announced it.
Did not seem excited. So if you're feeling any sort of doubt, I'm sure the grief just, like, washed over her, the poor thing. And just, like, oh, shit. Like, yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. I think it would have just, I mean, obviously that's with her all the time, but of course it's going to present when you're feeling a bit shit. So, yeah, but obviously the girls were gorgy and supportive, which we love to see. Then we hit the main stage. Lady Hawk looking quite gorgy in a...
She was so happy to be there. She was like, slay. I don't even know what she said, but she was just like, she just looked so excited just to be there. which I love. Because some of the time
Career
she's like,
highlight,
you know
yeah.
where you are? But she looks happy.
She performs at like Chill Out and stuff, like in Dalesford. Like she'll do anything. I love it.
Yeah.
She's a local diva.
She lives in Auckland?
I'm assuming. Or somewhere in New Zealand.
Somewhere.
Yeah, she was great. She was having so much fun, and I was right there with her. Reese and Keita, what did you think of Keita Mean's look on the judging panel?
It's very Keita Mean. Keita Mean's type of drag doesn't tickle any of
It's clown.
any of my what am I trying to say? It doesn't like, scratch any of my itches, but I appreciate it. She looked like her. Yeah. I think it was a little crazy sitting next to Michelle, but that's on Michelle, not on Keita Mean. You know what I mean?
True. If you're gonna sit next to this like unhinged clown and then not be, what was Michelle in? I can't even remember.
Print. Was it a jumpsuit?
Oh my god, it was
very.
It was just like it was hot, but it was also like giving, I don't know, Seven Angels Factory Outlet vibe, which is like,
I don't know what that
is,
but yeah, it was giving like slutty shop. Yeah, slutty outfit from them.
You know that place on Swanson Street that used to have that woman out the front with the microphone being like, hello, lady over there, come in, I've got frocks for you, and then they outlawed like microphones on the street.
Oh my god,
just because of her.
Stop. It's probably Versace or something too. Sound like,
probably
like it's great, but yeah, it's just giving a little slutty. I don't know. She looked hot though.
She always does. It's insane. Category is Queen of the Dessert.
I like this category.
Very love this. You would have killed this. This is your jam as a cake referencing.
Yeah, well, I guess I would have to come out as a big cake. I just think it's like fun. There's lots of places you can go with it, but yeah, so you can do whatever you want with your style of drag, I think.
I thought overall they were all really good.
Yeah.
Maybe except Nikita's, but we'll go through them. Vibe. Gorgeous cherries and cream gown.
Yes, love.
What did you think?
Love. She looked great. She's very polished always. Like, it was a great look. Very good.
The cherry red lip was fantastic. Yep. There was rhinestones in the right places.
Lady Hawk loved the rhinestone cherries on her head. She'd never. I feel like Lady Hawk had never seen anything rhinestoned before, so I was just like, yeah, I love the cherries, and I'm just like, I think I'm just desensitized now, but I'm like, yeah, of course she's gonna rhinestone them. Like,
did you stone those tights?
Yeah,
oh my god! Max comes out in pretty much the same look, but the slutty version.
Loved.
And we get iconic line, I'm showing the duality of Drag Race. 1 minute I'm crying about my dead mom, and then I'm walking down the runway completely naked.
I'm glad she could have fun in that moment and like understand like what's happening. Like, I'm glad she had that moment of just like
amazing.
Yeah. Clarity of just like, what is life? What is drag?
Well, she did it last week. Like, I was singing her praises last week because she told everyone she was like Christian, but then proceeded to like absolutely poke the shit out of her own religion in her lyrics to the girl group challenge. So I was like, oh, this bitch like is self-aware and self-deprecating and gorgeous. Yeah. So it's kind of like, how can you not love that?
No, you have to love that.
You know? Because she looks like the kind of queen that would be a bit of a cunt, you know, because she's so stunning.
Yeah. She paints.
So then when she's not, you're like, oh.
She paints the cunt.
Right. Yeah. I loved this. The whipped cream tits and that body.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, no, I liked it. She got the body for it. Like, if you have, like, I would be doing it too. So, like, loved it. It was a fun take on dessert. It, like, there's, like, little sexy reference of, like, licking whipped cream off, like, and I think it was like well done. It looked like, I assume it was like a foam or something, but yeah, it was like cool. I liked it.
That's good. Freya comes out as chocolate dipped churros, which I thought was interesting.
I like
dangly churro bits.
I don't really remember this one, which is bad. Yeah, I think she looked fine. It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite either, but I liked that she like clearly picked something she's into. I know the churros themselves kind of look a bit
It
dangly, like
literally,
dangly
I was like,
blues
did
or
I not?
something.
Did I was doing? I think I was styling a wig while watching this, or maybe I just didn't pay attention to this look because it didn't catch my attention firstly. But this always looks pretty good. So
fair. Lazy Susan comes out in an actual Lazy Susan dress.
I'm glad.
Which is built to serve.
Yeah, I'm glad she had a moment to do it. Like, I'm glad she got this runway so she could be a Lazy Susan. Because I feel like she would have had to be at some point. And I loved it.
Yeah, it's on brand, but it's still crazy. The stoning of all of the bits on the table I thought was fabulous. That's some elevated shit. Like, that's some lazy doing Drag Race stuff. Like, she would never normally do that, you know?
No. Like, I'm glad she took it there, and yeah, it felt like it was good. It was polished.
She's painfully aware of what the judges are expecting from her. So she's done. She's like crossed every T and dotted every I and some to make sure that she can't get a bad critique. It's genius.
No, and she's like, as she said, I think in an episode or somewhere, that she was like, you know, to Michelle, she's like, I've been writing these ideas down in a diary. Like, these are fully concept ideas that I know she's had for years, some of them. So, like, she knew exactly how she wanted things to look. And she, I know, is someone that doesn't do it unless it's exactly how she wants it.
Yep. Kana comes out actually referencing her culture this time in a Filipino dessert. This is probably my favorite of her looks so far. I thought this was
I think it was
stunning.
the best look so far.
Like
and it was like a fun. It was like not obvious of it was like fun to culturally for her and like representing, and it was a great look, and she looked great in it and stunning.
It was so cute. I loved the wig particularly, and just those like the sugar coat, like dusting jewels dripping down, like actually really nice.
That's really clever, and like it like was elevated and beautiful, but like still felt like her from what like I know about her.
Yeah,
it still like gave like she could still do. She's a performer, so it still felt like she could perform in it. So I hope she gets some use out of that outfit. You know what I mean?
Totally. Nikita. So like this look was fucking busted and I don't care. Like the way she just comes down and serves, like she's giving face and she's giving like the movement, and I love her.
Yeah, like I like the dress. She looked great. Like, and stunning. And as you said, the face. I like understand that maybe like she was referencing a dessert, and maybe that dessert does look like that. So like, no.
It needed to be like inflated or something. They were just like floppy. If all those bits had like some stuffing or something,
yeah, or if
like a bit bigger,
even if it was like a gown, maybe. So it was just like sheer like size of it was like more impactful. That could have been cool. I thought she was going to reveal to something.
Same. I thought it was going to come off and there'd be like, I don't know,
like pasties and like a chocolate whip.
Pasty,
like just like I don't know, like whipped cream pasties or something. Like I did expect it gave like reveal dress, just because like
no one did the Katy Perry whipped cream tits, which I'm kind of glad they didn't. Brenda breast. So not only did this bitch nail the Snatch Game, but to come out in the week of the Snatch Game as a characterization of a Bubbalo Bill, no notes.
Oh no,
perfection.
I also like forgot that it is in America as well. So like Michelle understood the reference like straight away. So like very smart.
Oh, good.
I think it was a really fun take on a dessert. Like yeah, and the fact that she had like bubble gum in her, like popped it, like 10 out of 10.
Stunning. Like just the way that she thought of referencing, you know, it's like a queer coded ice cream, right? It's like it's a pink cowboy.
I haven't thought about that, but yeah, he's a pink cowboy. Like it is. That's a gay man there.
That is a gay, and we all grew up with this ridiculous treat in our lives.
Also gives Butch
so to totally, we were saying on the couch like someone should have done a Golden Gay Time or like Golden Gate
Did
time
anyone?
themed.
That would have been
No, but although like there was no Lamington either, that would have been quite
maybe no one did
Australiana.
Golden
I don't know.
Gate time because it's one of those things you're like everyone's gonna do it, so then no one does it because everyone thinks that someone else is gonna do it. So I understand why they made. That's why it didn't. Yeah.
True. But no, this Buffalo Bill was great. I looked up the person that made it in Melbourne, and I'd never heard of them. So I'm like, good on you.
Who was it?
Gonna get some. I can't remember the name,
matter.
but I was like, slay. Mandy comes out in a licorice all sorts.
My favorite
colors thing. Mm-hmm.
I think it's my favorite runway of hers so far.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I liked it. It was like she made it. She looked great in it. It like had a point of view, whereas I think it had a message where I think some of her other runways haven't hit as hard for me.
Haven't. Agreed.
You know what I mean? I feel like this was like, okay, this is a strong look. Striking.
Totally. She responded to the brief in a clever way this time, which I was very happy about. I love later on, she's like humble brag, like, I'll just whip this up in an afternoon.
And you know she's not lying.
Love that. Oh, no. And the vinyl of it kind of, again, she's always got to be the kink queen. She's the piggy girl. So, like, there's that fabric as well, which we love. You can wipe it down after.
Oh,
she's great. No notes, Mandy.
Loves it.
Lucina comes out as this ginormous pancake woman dripping in syrup. It was a tiny little bit ill-fitting, but I did love this. The big hat was great.
Yeah, she looked good. I don't remember as much as the other ones either. So
yeah,
I think brown is hard on the runway as well. It's not as eye-popping.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's like part of the reason like the churro and the like pancake didn't really hit.
I'm still traumatized from the Brown Town week on Global All Stars. I was like, are you kidding me? Not a brown runway.
Yeah, there were some bad looks on that. Yeah, I think she looked good. Her face always looks great. Like, appreciate it. It wasn't my favorite, but didn't hate it.
Yeah. She goes, anyone want to climb this tower?
That's funny. I'll give her that.
Huge heels. I love she's just constantly trying to like fuck the judges. It's great. She's like
just eye fucking
killing it.
Yeah.
So Freya, Lucina, and Lazy are safe. Were you shocked by this, or was it like, yeah, that makes sense?
No, that made sense to me, I think. From the edits they got. We didn't get much of, some of them. So we didn't get much of Lazy or Freya. Like, we got a bit more of Lucinda, but like, just like wasn't as funny as maybe some of the other ones. So I understand why.
Yeah. Vibes, critiques, they just loved it. Reese loved her Snatch Game so much, the sort of layers to it, and Lady Hawk was loving the cherries. Yeah. Then Michelle's like, oh, you're just like the cream. You're so filled with cream. And she's like, still am. I loved that. So good. Max, they loved the look, but were questionable on the snatch.
Yeah.
Which was fair. Yeah. And then during Michelle's critiques, they kind of have a bit of a moment where they explain about it's the 2-month anniversary of her mum's death. And then Michelle gives some like loving advice, but then also says, I've still got to judge fairly, which I thought was like a nice, it was like really caring, but also like, and she asks her even like, do you want to stay? Which I thought was nice. Like that felt genuine and not like a written bit.
No, I think Michelle is very genuine, and like she follows a lot of the girls on Instagram. Like she keeps up with it. Like from what I understand, has the best intention with all of these girls. Like, she's a very mothering type. Yeah. I think that is her default, which is nice to see.
Yeah. Can't afford. So Reese calls this look Sailor Moon goes to the bakery, which I was like, that's cute.
That is.
and they love the look, but again, the snatch was a big no. It was no. I loved all of Michelle's crits on this runway. Like, they were so funny that like everyone was just laughing so much, even though it's like it's supposed to be the serious part. Oh, someone's going home, but they were all just like pissing themselves at Michelle's bits.
Yeah, even whether it was her or like she had some writing help, like yeah, she was good this episode.
Which is very funny. Yeah, Nikita, they're just reading her for filth at this point, and she's just laughing it all off. And I'm like, oh, that's the spirit.
She's just like, girly. Yeah, I did it. It's fine, whatever.
She's like, I'm still here. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. Brenda smashed it. Buffalo Bill was perfect, and her Gina was great. So she gets a bit emotional by the high praise. She's like, just hearing this from you is so validating, which I thought was a nice.
You're there to get
Brenda.
it. Sorry,
she's really young.
Is she? Yeah, she's not. She's like 20, under 25, right?
Yeah. Which I'm like, wow, to be doing that, I think is pretty impressive.
Yeah. She gets it.
Yeah. Reese calls Buffalo Bill a power bottom, which I was like, we love that. Mandy tells the judges she made the dress in the afternoon. And then we get like a little bait and switch with Michelle going, Kath and Kim are sacred to me. But you nailed it. And Mandy's like, yay, blah, blah, blah. So Mandy's feeling good. Go to Untucked. Notice Lacey's not getting her beers anymore. She got a beer in week 1.
What was she drinking? Something else this time?
Now she's just back on the whatever's available.
Well, maybe she's like, wait, I actually need the liquor. I need the spirit. I need something stronger than a beer to get me through this.
The red cordial.
Yeah, she's like, actually, I do need some sugar and some like, because she's like, give me that vodka raspberry or whatever they're drinking.
It looks nasty. There's no ice in there. It looks warm. They keep cutting every week to Brenda, like downing a drink. Like this week they put one in as well. Her just like sucking it up so fast.
Well, like they get on that main stage for so long. Like all of their feet and like internal organs, like some of them that really cinching, like it would be, I don't know how they do it. So I understand.
Nah. Yeah, totally. Lazy's had a serving of humble pie, not being in the top this week. But I mean, she's got to be happy. I know how Devo would have been.
It was her episode
about not winning Snatch.
We all assumed she was going to win Snatch, and for her to not even be in the top, I can understand is like she probably thought she let people down. I understand, but like she's doing so good on the show, and I think it was just it didn't hit as funny. It didn't hit for maybe how the producers wanted it to hit, or like they also wanted to give it to someone else. I think.
I'm hoping there's another challenge where she gets to go to be funny. Like I hope there's like an acting challenge or something where they get to write their own bits because she's really good at that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they do that. They usually do a branding challenge, like the tourist commercial. I remember they did, or like
she'll kill that.
Yeah, something like that. Like definitely, they usually do it. I think they've done it every season on Down Under. So hopefully she gets through. Yeah,
do that one. Lazy says Brenda's going to win, so Melbourne keeps the crown, which I was like, yes, we love that. Max knows she's lip syncing, but her fuel for her performance is going to be thinking about her mother. And Kana is also like really disappointed in herself. And then Lacey's like, do the line again. And she's like, how you doing? And I'm like, oh.
Poor Kana. I think she's so passionate about drag and doing well. So like, I understand why she.
Yeah. I get it. Oh, so back on the stage, Reese is just as wooed by Nikita as I am.
Yeah.
Like he's like making the same excuses that I am for her, where it's like, I mean, it didn't look like a dessert, but she was great. And I'm like, yes, keep her in, please. Loving her on the show. And then Brenda wins, which I think was no surprise. Like, I think they're also trolling Vibe a little bit. Like they really want Vibe to snap at some point, which I feel like might happen.
Yeah, I also
Don't you
feel like it
think?
might.
If she doesn't win soon.
Yeah, she's giving some good
Really?
confessionals. So yeah, I think she is. And I do think,
Yeah. She'll get a win, I reckon.
yeah, she will. Oh no, she has to. Like she's so polished.
Yeah. Then we get a 3-way lip sync. So Max, Kana, and Nikita
I don't understand.
are all in the bottom.
I don't understand.
What did you think?
I don't understand why they did a 3-way because the stage isn't big enough and they don't. My friend's boyfriend who like does TV production is like they don't have as many cameras as the US seasons, so they can't get as many
True.
angles. He's literally like there's not as many angles, so they're not getting as much footage. And I'm just like, it felt like so tight and cropped in on some of the girls when they were doing them alone. I just feel like it just felt a little too chaotic for me.
Agree.
They were going to save 2 of them. I was like, what I did think was like maybe they're sending 2 girls home because they kept someone the first episode. That's why I was like, oh, that's why they're doing a 3-way. And then to keep 2, I was like, oh, you should have just done a 2-way. 2-way.
I know. Well, even when there's 2, sometimes they can't get the shot quick enough. Like if someone does a shablam at the back of the stage, they can't.
Max did that trick where she flips into the splits. She did it on the runway, on the performing, but I think they didn't get it all.
I didn't clock it.
Well, I saw someone tweet about it, like, oh, they missed Max's iconic move.
Then do it again. Let her do it again. Like that would have been iconic on the show because, seeing her do it from the clips I saw of her at Circuit this weekend, it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, they should have just done. They should have just done Max and Kana and had the lip sync that everyone's been talking about.
True.
You know what I mean? Like they've been like Kana, like it was like I think even the first episode, I don't know if it was Max or Kana, they were both like, we're the dancing divas from Melbourne and Sydney.
Yeah, like you're right.
That was built into that rivalry, have Melbourne versus Sydney.
True.
I feel like I assumed you were going to get that at some point.
Same. But then Nikita was funny, but there just wasn't the space. Like when she did the little duck walk thing in that floppy dress, that was very funny. Like I'm glad we got that, but also, there could have been a lot more Max and Kana because they can both do all these tricks, but if there's no space to do them.
And it's a song to do it to as well. Like it's a dancey club song. Like it's not like they would put a ballad this week. Like they knew they were getting dancing girls, so they put it down. Well, I guess it lined up with Lady Hawk being there, but like, you know what I mean?
Lady Hawk was living. My Delirium, what a track. Like I was instantly transported back to when that was a number 1 hit and everyone was losing it.
Oh yeah,
so that was cute.
She was so happy to be there. Like I'm just obsessed with her. I don't know if she actually knew where she was, but she was happy to be there.
I think they did the 3 because they're just trying to like do everything as different as possible this time around. Yeah. That's the feeling I'm getting. They're like, let's try this, let's try that, which I can't be mad at. They want things to be surprising.
Oh, I understand.
Spicy. Sure. They were editing in all these cacaws this episode, which I thought was quite funny too. Like they're trying. And sadly, Kana is sent packing, which I think was fair. But also sad to see her go because I don't think she got the best like go on the show or something. I feel like she could have done better.
Yeah. Sad. And someone had to go though.
Someone's got to go. Exactly.
Unfortunately,
and it looks like next week is
I'm more invested in Max and Nikita. I'm sorry, they're just giving a bit more. But like, I think it was also the way they edited it. All the editing was definitely like giving Kana that sort of edit. Unfortunately,
yeah. Are you watching UK as well?
Yes, I am. Of course,
it's so good. Are you?
Oh, the makeover challenge. Like, I think it was the best one I've ever. Like, I think it as a group. I think no one should have been in the bottom and no one should have gone home. Because I think everyone was actually good. There was no like real duds, but UK's funny. I love their humor. They've like the producers and like they've just like got a solid format and a great bunch of things.
What were your thoughts on Miss Chanel O'Connor?
I loved her. I did
She
think
was
she was going to go a
great.
bit further, but I understand. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
definitely didn't maybe give any more compared to the other girls. But
Yeah.
like, no, I like.
Yeah.
They haven't had that many Scottish
She
queens.
reminded me of you a bit.
Oh, did you?
Just because she's a Scottish bitch.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah.
That's funny.
So good. Well, Lemon Chiffon, thank you so much for joining me this week.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Where can our listeners find you
You can
online?
find me on Instagram at lemon_chiffon_. Lemon like the fruit, chiffon like the cake or the fabric. I'm on TikTok, Lemon Chiffon as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, and she's about
And Blue Sky, I hear.
yeah,
I hear
Blue
she's on Blue Sky
yeah.
now.
I did start. I did make a Blue Sky, and I have a Twitter, but like Lemon Chiffon, you'll find me. Whatever. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, thanks, doll. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Cringe is Real with me, Sam Cremant. If you would like to support the show, rate, review, share, and tell your friends about it. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the show notes.